Hello, good evening. Welcome along to the Jackocar Cup Series, and Jacko has been saving that one up because he thought he got me earlier on because he was burping before us. But yes, can you tell he's back this week after a very rusty performance from myself for the first half of last week's race? I'm quite pleased to have Jacko back alongside me in the commentary box, but it's not actually about him, or at least it won't be in a few weeks when he leaves the ownership and all the rest of it. But as you can see, we're here for Canada. It is round 15 out of 17. We are very much at the business end of things now. Tonight we discover who our four contenders are for the quote-unquote Championship 4 for the chase drivers next week, and we lose one more driver from the playoffs. Casper won last week's race, so he will not be qualifying tonight. Assuming he's even here in the first place. I can never tell anymore, to be honest with you. Where's his name on this? Is he even here? Is he here?
Apparently he's joining mid-session.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Corey's either taking a really long time to pick his tyres or he's having issues. We'll keep an eye on him. But, yes, Canada, always a late season favourite when we come here. We always remember the likes of Season 2 and Season 3. Even Season 1 was quite exciting. I'm hoping for sort of more of the same here, and that was Gareth leaving the session. And
You saw what I saw, didn't you?
yeah, and just want to bring this up with Gareth as well. Last week, again, I know you were keeping an eye on it, but did it catch you out as well? That and we said it. We said we wouldn't let it happen again. We would not let Gareth catch us out with his name. But he was running around as Speed Y Racer. The prick.
Hello, by the way. As I've not been formally introduced yet, we'll carry on.
It was your own fault, that really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did burp. Hello, everyone. It didn't catch me out because Yori wasn't racing himself. So, when you see Y Racer going around sort of fairly averagely, you assume immediately it's going to be Gareth because Yori has a habit this season of running around at the back, whereas Gareth has at least scored a handful of points. And another note, Owen, I almost gave this stat to you at the start. You do mention Canada being late on in the season. This is season 12. How many times has Canada been in the playoffs? It has been a race in every single season of the Jacko era of Jackocar, but what about as a playoff race, including tonight?
Okay, let me see if I can remember. 10? Go with 10? I feel like season 6 and season 10 it wasn't.
11.
11.
11 seasons of Canada in the postseason.
Which season was it not?
Oh, that's the question for you to answer.
Well, I thought 6 or 11 it might not have been, because I remember there was one where it rained and Jimmy Wright was caught out, and I feel like that was a regular season race. Or there was the typhoon race we had on season 10. That also might have been.
You said season 6. You would be wrong. It's season 7, which
close.
was also Mike's last win.
Oh, of course. That's bad for me.
And how many races ago since Mike won?
Come on. Right.
Not including tonight.
Okay. In fairness, we might actually have a fighting chance at working this out. I mean, it's in around the ballpark of 100, isn't it?
Oh, you're on it. Come on.
Higher or lower?
Lower.
Lower, like 97.
Oh, tonight is 97.
I think that counts. Come on, give me that one.
I'll give you that.
Give me that one.
You know what? I'll be honest. I wouldn't know any of that unless I looked. So you know your stuff better than me.
I only know that because we celebrated 200 races this season, and season 7 was just after 100, so I knew it had to be somewhere between 90 and 100. But I probably shouldn't be telling you my workings out, really, should I?
That's alright. Fair play. Also, Owen, before you take over for qualifying, an important message from Barry Baldwin. Potential rain towards the last few laps.
Okay, so that puts, the top drivers in the championship standings in peril then, doesn't it? Which will be hopefully exciting.
Yep. And also, speaking of Mike Kelterborn, he's not here tonight, which immediately knocks him out of the chase.
That's the second week in a row that that's happened,
Yeah.
because Yuri wasn't here last week and he ended up getting knocked out by default. Although, in fairness, on that occasion, he could have had drivers retiring around him. I think if Baza had retired from that race, would have kept him in, but there's no way of Mike coming through because he needs to make points up. So unless drivers ahead of him get points penalties, but then we're just going into crazy territory of this is just never going to happen. So yeah, to all intents and purposes, he's out of the championship. I just want to have a look at Baz's livery because he's very much brought back the Brawn livery. And we always like seeing this out there. This is probably the best version of it he's done so far.
800 races.
Made it. Really?
All time. Yeah, Barry Baldwin in his esports career, 800
That's
starts.
incredible.
I mean, in just Jackocar alone, this is number 184 because he made 100 in Kia, and this is 84 tonight. But 800 all time. That should be celebrated.
And he still doesn't know to qualify on the softs. I wonder why he's chosen. I wonder why he's chosen a medium. Is he maybe trying to save tires for the race? Does he?
What?
I mean, this could very well be a 2 or 3. It could be a 3-stop race potentially. Maybe you want to have some soft tires in reserve, but it's just odd that he's using a medium.
It's all that experience. He knows something that we don't.
Well, clearly, yeah. 800 races. I wonder how many people have ever done 800. I don't even know if I've even done 100, let alone. Oh no, I've probably done 100, but I've not got anywhere near 200, and he's done 800. That's fair play.
Yeah.
I've watched him win like twice. Poor bloke. This could be number 3 tonight. You never know. At least I remember both his wins. To be fair, most drivers probably don't remember their wins. So apart from Mike Elthorne here in Canada, clearly. But anyway, we'll not worry about stats. I'm worried about why OKK's times aren't going up. Now, finally, it's gone up because he just had a dash next to his name and he was completing laps. But one's finally gone up. So Deck is invalid at the minute, but he's back in the saddle after. To be fair, I was probably quite rude to him actually in Brazil at various points. I'll try not to be as rude to him this week. Although I did compliment his pace, and once again he's fastest of the sort of bottom half of the field. So we'll hope to see that continue. But do you reckon he's gearing up for a full-time seat next season? I think he might have surprised himself with his pace. He surprised me anyway.
It would be nice, wouldn't it? I just don't think he can commit to Thursdays like he would like to. He has said before, if you push it back until 8 PM the race starts, then he could do it. But as soon as you push us back to 8 o'clock, you push the Europeans back to 9 o'clock, and some of them have their bedtimes at 9:30, so they'd only be able to compete in qualifying. But it's a shame. It's good to have Deck here tonight, though.
This is it. Hopefully he can pull up a good performance. Leroy's also here tonight. He was very much a last-minute call-up. So we'll get to see him in an entirely pointless capacity, but still, he's had a pretty horrendous season, so maybe if he can pull up a good result tonight, that'd be nice for him. Let's see if we can actually try and catch a full lap with someone. Riding on board with Robin, and he's just started a lap. Everyone else appears to be either on in-laps or just coming up for their final out-laps. So Robin will catch a little bit of traffic here as he comes through to the end of Sector 1. 19.9 ago. We don't really know what the times are going to be out here. I'm guessing, assuming the rain holds off and we have all the fastest drivers out there, we'll be somewhere in the 1 minute 9s, maybe 1 minute 8. I'm guessing with that though. But it'll be surely below a 1 minute 10 as Robin continues on, hugging the inside line. Will he be able to get a toe off of the car ahead, I wonder, as he comes out of the hairpin? They're quite a way away, so I don't think they'll be slowing down now. And it's just one long blast. As always, they're using hot lap, but even then, Robin's not using the whole of his battery. He's on hot lap, but he's still got 40% of that energy left. I mean, just whack it in overtake at that point. You need to have a lot more straight line speed. Now he uses some of it, but he could have used a lot more. And if he had, he might have gone fastest. Instead, he's gone third. And
Chase leader, by the way.
Well, yeah, he needs these lap times to be good. I was saying that chase leader doesn't really mean anything, does it? When the whole chase is separated by 10 points at the moment. from
Yeah.
Robin all the way down to Mike. And even then, you can discount Mike because he's not here. So really, between the 5 left, there's 8 points in it, which is
exciting,
very
isn't it?
exciting. We were saying before, when it comes to the playoffs, we effectively need Chris Waits or Sullivan Lewis, who are the 2 drivers at risk tonight, realistically. We need one of them to win a race to sort of shake the playoffs up.
You need one of them to win a race and all 4 of the guys up there in the top 4 to DNF. That would be marvellous. And as for the chase, it's important to remember that whoever gets eliminated this week leaves the remaining 4 to battle it out next week. First across the line next week will advance their way to the Championship 5 in 2 weeks' time. And that could be anybody of Robin, Ben Harrett, Gareth, Pete, Bazza, and if he was here, Mike. But yeah, 8 points separate the chase. It's the closest chase we've ever had.
We'll have to say it once again because I do feel like we'll always end up saying this about Pete, but you have to say he's probably going to be the favourite for it. I still maintain he has to be the fastest driver. I'm not to say that because he's fastest, but it's not like this is a one-off, him being fastest. And I mean, it'd be good to see him in the Championship 5 again. On the Championship 5, what will his streak be at? Will it be at 200? Where are we at the minute? Because, I mean, Championship 5 is 2 races away. He'll be near enough, won't he?
Yeah, it will be 200. Tonight is 198 if he doesn't win. So it's 197.
I don't know, what a story that would be if he somehow pulls off a championship win, 200 races after his last victory.
That would be the way to retire then, wouldn't it? Just give it up.
Well, exactly. If you manage to do that, there's no point continuing, is there? So that's the target for Pete Knighton, and I'm sure he'll be pleased to hear us talking about his numbers again. But that had an oddly positive twist to it. There'd be no positivity for Arnaud de Grief. What the hell was that last week? If you watched last week's race, you'll have seen that he thought it'd be a great idea at 200 miles an hour with his rear wing open to start weaving, and he put himself into the side of Casper's car. They were fighting for the lead, penultimate lap. In fairness, he ended up finishing 4th in the end, Arnaud, and Casper won, so it didn't really affect anything, especially since he's out of the championship anyway. But he said just afterwards in the chat he has no idea how that happened. So yeah, I'm sure. Well, we explained it to him. If you've got no downforce at the rear, don't start weaving, and you won't crash. So that's he's had a few comical crashes. I still remember his qualifying crash at at Spa in season 8, I think it was, when me and Khalifa were sort of coaching him around the lap. Khalifa had given him a tow, and yeah, I was racing that night. I caused the first red flag in Jackocar, I think, that night, or second. But yeah, he came out of the final corner and just put it in the wall, as you do. And it was very funny then as well. So, yeah. He is the reigning champion, though, still. You know, he's not just a punching bag. I promise.
He also did the same on the straight in Monza on the run down to turn 1. I don't know what lap it was. I'm sure you were streaming.
I wasn't watching it. You
caught
screamed. He's crashed. I remember, yeah.
But he didn't crash. He somehow saved it.
He ended up
it's brilliant.
In season 4 at Monza. He ended up upside down across the finish line, letting Jamie Griffiths win the race. One of the closest finishes, well, definitely right up there, wasn't it?
Does that still stand? Hang on, I will check it for you. Current closest finish ever is Casper in Baku over Jake, 0.003. And then the one you're on about, Jamie Griffiths versus Arnaud, was tied with Mike and Kyle here in season 7. Obviously Jamie's win was at Monza. That was 0.033, so a whole 300ths of a second slower.
Pathetic.
Slow. Rubbish.
Sadly, Jamie is not going to have a lap time because he's invalidated, and he's just here for the fun of it, to be fair.
Had 4 mid-season and threw it all away. Then there's Ben Short, who, if he wasn't away, would still very much be in contention, and he's one of those drivers he can win. I know he hasn't done so for over 50 races now, but it's one of those nights where something magical could happen. And if he was here instead of Chris Waits, I think he'd be kicking himself if he actually won a race tonight. But very, very fast still is Ben Short. A lot of potential, the season 8 champion. I would say what can he do, but he's invalidated, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, a handful of invalidations. We need to see a clean lap here from Chris Wades, and it's important for him, obviously. Like I say, he's in championship peril. He's got 4 points over Sullivan Lewis, but I mean, we say it about every track, but we expect Sullivan to be quick here. So Chris, who's I still feel been, I suppose, a little bit under the radar a little bit, but he's 5th in the championship. He's there on merit. So yeah, let's see what he can do over the next 2 races. It needs a massive comeback to find himself in the championship 5. Realistically, he's currently 18 points behind Jake O'Sullivan, but we've seen Jake have a few bad races this season, to be fair, so anything can happen. But for him and for Sullivan Lewis, these need to be perfect qualifying laps at the very least to put them in contention to shake this up a little bit as he comes in to the final chicane. The wall of champions there on the exit, plenty of commitment. It's not going to be Arnaud's time, but it should be on the front row for now. 1 minute 10.3. He's going to, I don't know if he'll be happy with that or not. Let's see how risky he gets on. Through the middle sector. He's going to have a tow, is he? Or he's locked up actually on the way in. There's a car waiting for him on the exit, and that's Tony. He is going to get a distant tow, but obviously Tony himself needs to then start his lap. But this will still give him a small advantage. It's just that lock-up into the hairpin is really giving him trouble. No invalidation, but had a little bit of a snap. He survives it, and Sully goes second, so he's beaten Waitsy, his direct rival tonight, so he'll take that. Johannes, it's just typical, isn't it? Even now he's been eliminated from the championship, it still just does not want to go right. One of the greatest collapses I've ever seen in Jackocar, unfortunately, continues.
Let me throw it back 6 years. It's reminiscent of Arnaud's post-season campaign in season 1. Do you remember that? Went in as regular season champion.
All fell apart here, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, it fell apart every race, actually. But
yeah, last nail was in the wall of champions here, I think.
Yeah, should have won that season, I dare say. I think he was second on the night to Jamie Bromley as well, so he would have been champion. Which is hard to believe. Anyway, look at all the names at the back, Owen. It's the big names.
We've become used to this. Let's say Johannes, obviously, I don't remember the last time he had a good race in any sort of... It's been months. You know, considering we had a 3-week break a few weeks ago, and he's had 4 bad races in a row. It probably has been months. Tony, he's... I mean, I still call him the dark horse, even though he's now top of the standings. I don't think I can call him the dark horse anymore. I think he's proven my confidence in him. We'll say that much, because he's fastest at the minute, and he is pushing on to potentially take a championship. Jake O'Sullivan, he has 3 of them, and he's on his lap. He'll be followed then by Corey Dalton, who, well, he sits relatively comfortable, to be fair. I mean, they all do in this top 4 as it stands. But yeah, Corey, I feel like he's having a quiet sort of season, but he's making it all work. And he's going to get a chance at the championship, most likely. And Jake, let's see how he's getting on this lap. A little bit slower, I think, than even Risky was, I want to say. Am I looking at the right times there? Is he actually going slow? Well, I guess we'll find out. DRS.
I can't help you because I'm currently looking at a potential Jackocar review here.
No, here we go. I look forward to hearing about that, but let's see the lap time for Jake O'Sullivan, and I think it is going to be battling with Risky's time. He does beat him by 2/10, so he had a better final sector, sort of less locking up probably happened into the hairpin. But here is Corey Dalton, and I wonder if Casper still has the white version of this livery, because I thought that was quite funny. Because again, I don't know if you listened to the commentary for qualifying, but I was going on about how Corey, it'd be great if he copied Hamilton's Vegas helmet, and then bloody Casper had ended up copying it essentially. So yeah, I think Corey will just stick to the original colours. But on a track where Lewis Hamilton's won 7 times, I want to say. I mean, he's won 7 times everywhere, hasn't he? Let's be honest. But he's been very successful here. Can Corey Dalton stick it on pole, on board into the final chicane, sends it? Oh, he took 2 goes actually at getting in there. but he made it out. Slower than he would have liked. He's gone third, which means Tony is on pole. I tell you what, Alexa, he's really motoring now. What's
You're
this Jackocar?
Hang on, you're waiting for me to tell you how many times Tony Kirkpatrick's been on pole in the league. It's coming. It's coming. It's now 11 for Tony Kirkpatrick. He loves it round here, though, doesn't he? Jackocar is Waze and Robin having to do a jump start.
Ooh, well, that's bad news for Robin then. It's already bad enough that Pete Knighton's 3 places ahead of him on the grid, but now Robin's going to be taking a drive for it to start the. I mean, we rode on board with him. Was he just late starting the lap, or?
Yeah.
Oh. I suppose that was probably quite an easy Jackocar to do then. I wasn't looking at the clock, to be honest with you, but fair enough. That rule be what's the rule? Is it what you got to start your lap by 9 minutes? That's what the rule is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's even openly admitted he started at 8:29.
Okay, so just nowhere near then, essentially. Why'd he bother then? He could have just not done that, because he would have known going into the final chicane to start his lap that he would have been out of time. Seems a bit irresponsible, but oh well. He can worry about that later on. This is a 35 lap long race, and again, tyres don't last great on this game. A 2-stop is pretty viable, but I just wonder, with the amount of safety cars we could potentially get here, we could be seeing 3-4 stops here. When it comes to Jokers, it's Corey and it's Ben Harrett. Again, the main advantage that Corey and Ben are going to have is that they can sort of pit whenever they like. Although, I don't know actually if there's any advantage at all, really, when it comes to the Joker, because you're not going to do a one-stop. That's effectively impossible round here. And I think for a standard strategy round here, you're going to be making your second stop after halfway anyway. So I think the Joker advantage is essentially nullified. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We saw last week a very well-timed safety car for Ben Shaw. Nearly gave him a chance to make something on his Joker, but he ended up just not having the best pace. He got rear-ended as well at one point, so we've seen some nearly wins with the Joker, but nothing as of yet. As this has been a very fast formation lap, I must say. I think Tony's really fancied getting on with this. We're already halfway round. Let's have a look at the tyres. Robin is on the soft. I mean, he's not going to be able to change those when he's doing his drive-through, so wonder why he's gone for that. And Baz is going to start on the hards. Obviously, I mentioned he qualified on mediums earlier on. He's not going anywhere near any sauce. He's just sort of scrubbed some mediums, effectively, is what it looks like he's done. Any thoughts before we get underway, Jacko?
Always loads of thoughts. First of all, 20-car grid. How fantastic is that? Hopefully, anybody but Tony wins this. I would actually like to see Tony, Arnold, Jake, and Casper all in a massive pile-up. Ideally, probably a Sullivan-Lewis win over Chris Waits. Make it interesting. Bring them all close together. Sullivan and Chris on the podium would work lovely. Mike's already out, so let's get rid of... I don't know, but basically we want Bazza into next week's Championship 4. So somebody out of Pete, Gareth, Ben and Robin has to go. Take your pick.
Well,
but
Gareth's,
it's almost time for your words.
Gareth's the man starting last, so he's got the most ground to make up then in that sort of situation. We'll be keeping you up to date with the points all the way through this, because this is going to be close. Essentially because these guys tend to be fighting for the lower points, being the sort of bottom half championship. So yeah, this will be fascinating, but first we've got to have the 5 red lights go. There's the 2 jump starts, and boogity boogity boogity, let's go racing here in Canada. A lot of sort of jostling in the middle of the pack as down towards turn 1, Tony holds on to the lead, and that was a committed move at the inside there of Arnold, who I guess didn't really fancy causing an accident there. You could have stopped that run on the outside but didn't. Jake fighting away with Corey. He's in 3rd place, and Risky, he stayed ahead of Chris Waits, and well, it looks to me like Chris is looking behind him at Deck, who already on the start is looking plenty fast enough to be making overtakes, so we'll see how he gets on. But up the front, Arnaud, no DRS of course until the 2nd lap, but he's held on very nicely to the back of the pole sitter here, and doesn't look like there's been any sort of incidents as well towards the back. I mean, there's a lot of movement in the back of the pad. We were about 4 or 5 wide on the start line as those jump starts happened, but everything looks to be going relatively well, and we're on board with Yuri there. He's got a lot going on in front of him. Ben Harrett and Jamie Griffiths are properly going for it, but up at the front, if I could get there in time, here's Arnaud already making the move, and he went across on Tony on the way into the final chicane there. That could easily have been contact, but it's a clean move, and Arnaud leads already here in Canada.
Yep, that is lap led number 944 all time, so he's marching on towards 1,000 lap leds. He is also the record points holder here in Jackocar with 1,728. I'm saying that because I've not done the stats for last week yet. But yeah, Arnaud on his way once again. Can't win the championship, but he's going to enjoy his reign as champion as much as he can here on lap 2 in Canada. He leads from Tony, Jake Corey and Sullivan Lewis in P5.
Drive-through penalties, by the way, have been completed by Robin and by Wace, and I mentioned Deck having some pace. He's got himself past Chris Waits, who's not looking as fast as Sullivan Lewis, but as it stands, he would still be getting through, wouldn't he? I think Sullivan needs a couple of positions between himself and Chris, and Chris, as you say, is going to be coming back as well at Deck. So, I mean, if Chris just keeps doing this, he's through to next week. So, just needs to keep doing this. But it does appear that his pace isn't as good as maybe would be ideal. And I believe we've got OKK on the Wall of Champions. Now, is that put a VSC or a full safety car? I think it's put out a VSC. I can't see any boards, but the whole track's gone yellow, so yeah, VSC. I can't go off board, so I can't see his damage. He's got no damage, so let's put a VSC out for the fun of it, I guess. It's a light waste to make a pit stop. He has front wing damage, but he's not changed that front wing, so that's a bit of a missed opportunity for him there. But up at the front, it's still Arnaud.
Yeah, you are right, by the way, Owen. Sullivan needs 4 points. Actually, no, sorry, you're wrong. Sullivan needs 5 points because Chris would win in the event of a tie. He has the better... it wasn't... Hang on. 14. He has the better 5th place finish results over Sullivan. He's had more 5th places because they've shared the same amount of P3s and P4s.
Here comes Tony.
Sullivan has not finished P5.
He's taking the lead back. Arnaud only held it for 2 laps. And Tony, pretty easy move. He'll get his first lap led of the day. So basically, where Risky is, he needs to be moving forwards or hope that this happens, essentially. And the likes of Casper, well, Casper's already through. I mean, Casper, who started, 19th? Already up to 6th place, just as you do. But I mean, we're expecting Deck, we're expecting him possibly past even now. He's had a great exit out of turn 2, and this probably be enough, wouldn't it, if Deck can get through here? And I mean, look at the guys behind. He's got a train here, has Chris Waits.
No, Sullivan needs 5 places or a win. But Chris is very scatty through there, isn't he? He's actually starting to fall apart. There's Pete and Baz are on the back of him now. So he's starting to turn into enough. P10 for Chris and Sully P5 puts Sullivan into next week.
Pete really held off there as well, coming out of turn 6. I thought he was going to get sort of bombarded, but he made the move. Here comes Baza. He's not as brave, and he's going to have Johannes all the way around his outside. And what on earth is going on with Chris here? I mean, he had half a lap there on the VSC to cool the tyres down, but he looks like the slowest driver out there at the moment. He might get done by 2 or 3 cars in the next few laps. Here comes Johannes. He's going to get 1. Is he going to get 2? He's already got through Baza as Arnaud comes back through to take the lead into turn 1. So it's happening everywhere here at the moment. Risky as well. making an early pit stop. Could this be an inspired choice? We'll keep an eye on this. Hopefully he doesn't get into an accident out of the pits, which he does keep doing. It's been a real feature of his this season.
Say nothing.
Well, it's too late now. We've spoken it into existence if it happens or doesn't happen. But yeah, wait to see. This is concerning. To be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure this is going to work out for him. But then again, we could cut to Risky in the wall, and that would solve his problem, wouldn't it? Sort of stabilising here behind. Oh, Pete hit the wall there on the way into turn 8. Want to be careful with that. That could easily take you out of the race. But yeah, he seems happier behind Pete. I'll just say that Johannes, he's going to go for the move anyway. Does he make it stick? Yeah, he's left too much space. You're being too nice to them, Chris. You gotta fight them a bit harder than this. I wonder if he's going to be into the pits this lap, because he's seen that Risky's been in. This isn't sustainable. He's going to keep getting overtaken. He's being overtaken again.
I know you're focusing on the playoffs, but I'm looking at the chase. With the exception of Pete, the 5 drivers still in contention below Pete are separated, all separated by 3 points at the minute.
Chris Waits has pitted, as has Pete Knighton, so this will put both of them into relatively clear air. But Risky, I mean, he's miles ahead now off Waitsy. So if he can get through these guys now, he's going to have lots of DRS here and opportunities to overtake. Could Risky be performing an undercut that puts him in podium contention here? He does need it. He needs a lot of points in these next 2 races to give himself a fighting chance of being in the championship race. He needs Jake O'Sullivan out of this race as well, out of the next 2 races, to give him a real shot. But if he can make this undercut work, it'll certainly get him potentially ahead of him, and then we'll see what happens from there. But he's up ahead now of Gareth, and well, let's say it's going to be DRS for a very long time as he now catches up to the back of Yuri. Tony is into the pits, and we've got.
Could you imagine
this? Fighting.
Could you? You've just mentioned about Jake needing to DNF to put Sullivan in with a fighting chance of getting through to the Championship 5. Remember who gave Sullivan the podium in Britain in round 5? It was Jake who slowed down with Sullivan with no fuel and let him on the podium.
Look at this. So Tony's coming out of the pits, and he's behind. He's behind Risky. Now Risky has got a penalty, but this undercut is putting him into good track position, as we have a yellow flag ahead of this.
Oh, Tony in the wall.
And Tony, I didn't quite see it. He's not got any damage, and Risky made a big move there on Ben Harrett to put a car between himself and Tony. But well, that's another yellow flag. That's for Gareth. Now, can he get himself out of this without being involved in another accident? This is a very difficult spot to be in. And again, this could cost him the chase. So this is vital. He gets himself back on track. Don't reverse too much, because you might get disqualified as well. Oh no! He's been hit by Jamie Griffiths! And that's a safety car, and that's his side pod completely gone, surely. And possibly a penalty too. I mean, yeah, 10-second penalty. We caught that live on board. Jamie won't report him for that because he's out of contention. But I think a 10-second penalty, that's not only done Gareth's day in, it's Risky and Tony's day as well. But look at this, Corey and Arno, did they not get a chance to pit, or did they choose not to pit? Jake O'Sullivan might have just been in the pits anyway, but well, I was saying that he needed Jake out of the race. He's going to be the net race leader, Jacko, now. That's Risky who needed that. But he's going to be net race leader with this pit stop. And a lot of guys pitting. Look at Casper, he's right on the back of Tony and Risky. Let's say he didn't quite start last, did he? But he was the last race winner. So, I mean, we'll count it, but he's put himself well into contention. Could he win 2 races in a row? Can it finally happen? Because he's right up there.
Yeah, and you know, I was talking about Jake giving that podium to Sullivan in Britain. This is his good karma coming back then if he puts himself in a race-winning position and puts it with near enough, almost certainly qualifying for the Championship 5. Not mathematically, but virtually. And as for Casper, we've seen a last to first done here before. It was Khalifa in season 3, was it?
Sounds about right.
Something like that. You should know, because you're better than me. But yeah, Casper flying, Risky flying as well. Tony in the wall just now, but flying.
Top 2 pit.
There we go.
So that does put Jake into the lead. They had to pit because they've still got a good gap to the cars behind, and this is the ideal time to stop. Just want to mention this. I wondered if Jamie Griffiths would be upset. He said in the Twitter chat, "Nice one, just spin it back around with cars oncoming." So he is quite unhappy. Whether he's unhappy enough to bother the Jackocar stewards or not, we'll find out later on. But yeah, with Gareth at the back anyway, it could be that he finds himself knocked out in a race that isn't Mexico. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Mexico obviously being the championship final this season. He really ought to make it there, hasn't he?
Ironically, this is normally where Mexico is in the calendar.
That's a
sort
good
of round
point,
15. Yeah. So maybe this is just his ceiling.
Well, we'll find out.
A couple laps ago, you were focusing on the battle, but the drivers. Hang on, let me get the names up. It was Robin, Gareth, Harrott, and Barry were all within 3 points of each other, with where they were all running on track and based on their points. Pete was well clear up in 7th at the time, so he would have been chase leader, and in fact he still is there in P8. But yeah, the rest of them were so close. It was amazing. But I don't think any of them have the time to do the maths to know what they need and where they need to be. And as I always say, your friends are where you find them. And will that come into play at some point later on today and next week, and maybe in the Championship 5? Will a friend help you on your way to a championship?
Alright, so race situation. So Jake, he leads, that's all legit. Risky is second, again, all legit, but his penalty might affect him. I reckon we'll see a lot of drivers picking them up, so it might balance itself out, but it's never a good sign to have a penalty within the first 10 laps, and he has one. Tony third, Casper fourth, and let me just get where he started. It was 19th. Not his fault that Gareth didn't qualify, so let's just say he was last, because that's where he should have been. But he's up to fourth. Arnaud sitting in fifth. Johannes, again, legitimately up there in sixth. Corey seventh. And yeah, with Waits, he's on in ninth place. He's got just a whole lot of fast cars ahead of him. He's got to get past. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I'm just doing the maths again for you. As it stands, obviously Mike Kelterborn already out, but Gareth, I think you've already covered it. Gareth would be eliminated, but with the field so close together, it wouldn't be too difficult to get some points back. But how much damage is on that car as Bazza, Ben Harrott, Robin and Pete look like they're on their way to a Championship 4.
Gareth's got bigger problems. He's not catching this train, Jacko. He's not catching it. Not a chance. He's only at the end of the first sector, so I mean,
so he is.
He's screwed, isn't he? And I reckon his car will be lit up like a Christmas tree again. Same as Johannes in Bahrain. Well, that was an enormous hit.
Gareth's hope is that Bazza or Ben Harrott crash out. If one of them crashes out, he advances. It's as simple as that.
Well, they're in the mixer, but I think Gareth's probably most likely to find the wall with the amount of damage he's got. But we'll see what happens. We've got a restart coming up, and we've got Jake O'Sullivan. Very low on fuel, by the way. He had to save a lot under that safety car. He's probably quite thankful he got one. He comes up to the start-finish straight. He's gone, and already Arnaud's pulling out behind him, but it's not going to affect the race leader. It's 3 wide, and Corey's got a broken front wing, and Pete's got his back of him, and there's Deck as well at the inside. All sorts of drama, but it's going to be Pete and Corey with the damage there. Jake continues to lead ahead of Risky, and Tony's pressuring behind. Deck on the outside of Waitsy. Big move. He's made a stick, but Waitsy's almost into the wall. Ahead of him, Pete is into the wall. And there's a lot of drama going on around here. We've got another safety car out. And I believe in there as well. Bazza picked up frontline damage as well. So a lot has gone on in that restart. Wow.
Well, do I need to redo my maths? I think I do.
I feel like we might just need to ignore the maths until lap 35 and then just see where we're at, because this is all over the place. Whole front wing gone there for Pete, so it's definitely going to require a pit stop. And Waitsy, I tell you what, he was skirting along the side of the wall there. That could easily have been, well, that could have been the end for him. And they've also had that restart in deck as well. How aggressive was he on that restart? And he kept it all facing in the right direction too. And with no... I did get damage. I thought he might have avoided it. He did get damage. And obviously Corey too. So, yeah, what a mess. But, well, it's brought the safety car back out. So that allowed Jake to save a bit more of that fuel that it looked like to me he needed to be saving. So he'll be appreciating this. As we see Ben Harrett into the pits. Get your calculator out again, Jacko, because it's all changing again with his pit stop.
Yeah.
Oh, and Pete's got a 10-second time penalty, which is great news for Gareth. This is fantastic news for him.
So, by the way, I had just worked it out. Ben Harrett in the pits now puts Bazza into the Championship 4. And what it would do is it would knock Ben Harrett out. we're coming up to 1/3 race distance, by the way. This is jolly exciting.
Yeah, this is... yeah.
Basically, Bazza in P11, even with everybody behind him, is not good enough. He needs more points than that. This is where I wish I had like a live calculator in front of me that just... Oh, I heard you crying out for one last week.
Yeah, I know. Codemasters, you know, as part of these big F1 27 changes that you're going to make, apparently this is going to be such a, you know, innovative game. Let us do our own championship standings. Give us the opportunity to do that. Let the maths be done automatically on the game. Let's have a wee live championship standings graphic on screen, you know? Be very handy. It would save us a massive headache.
I'll tell you what, where Ben Harrett's come out, Bazza is in by a point. That is all that's in it. So the
he's got damage obviously as well, hasn't he, Bazza? So that's not very helpful for him. But there are more cars pitting, and other cars. I swear to God, someone just disappeared. Anyway,
6 points separate the chase drivers.
So Corey's going to change the front wing then. This is going to put him towards the back. This is... Ben Harrett's got a 10-second penalty. I wondered if he might have been the car that disappeared. Or was it Leroy? Because Leroy's just sort of popped up in the final chicane. Just sort of on the curb. I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. But Pete's taking his 10-second time penalty. Corey at the back here, by the way. If he gets caught up in something on this restart, that's the sort of opportunity that Risky's looking for. So we'll keep an eye on this. But yeah, Pete taking the 10-second time penalty. On to a fresh set of hards. He's very much back on strategy.
I do apologise.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
I'll do it again.
I'm sure you will. But, yeah, so Pete's back on strategy. The penalty's gone. If the safety car comes in this lap, though, he might not have a chance to catch it up. So we'll keep an eye on that.
He's closer than what Gareth was on the last safety car, so he'll be okay, I think.
I think it's also staying out. By this point last time, it had already said it was coming in. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been quite a messy start. Did you say rain at the end of qualifying or rain in the race?
He never specified, but as he said laps, I assume race.
This is race. Look at it. It's cloudy now. The whole track's gone overcast. So interesting. Yeah, yep. Interesting. That looks to me like rain isn't coming in the last few laps. It looks to me like rain's coming quite soon. Maybe in the next 10 laps or something. But we'll keep an eye on it as Leroy decides to pit. Again, I thought I saw a car disappear. You might have to Jackocar this for me. At the end of the last lap, I swear to God I saw a car disappear at one point, and then he just pops up at the last chicane. I could be making things up. And Pete, why are you cutting corners under bloody safety car, man? It's so easy not to do that, as Gareth now spawns halfway down the grid as well. And he's having internet problems, isn't he? Is this happening for you as well?
I'm seeing it flicking back and forth. I don't think I have internet issues.
I don't think I have either. And now he's passing Corey,
just let him go.
Which would suggest to me, again, yes, the game has done that, and he's possibly having drivers being told, let him through, you will be taking him illegally, not realising that he's actually just teleported. So he's 16th now, rather than like 13th or wherever the hell he was before. And the safety car is going to be in this lap. So, yeah, prepare for more chaos, I suppose, because these dark clouds are everywhere now.
I tell you what, I'm just going to quickly work out between Bazza and Ben Harrett who has the best finish this season. Of course, Ben Harrett was P4 in Brazil.
I'd say it's probably Ben Harrett.
It is Ben Harrett, yeah. So that might be important later on.
Here we go then.
I don't know how this is going to play out.
Restart time. And it was a pretty clean restart from Jacob Sullivan's point of view last time around, so he'll just be hoping for the same again. With Tony behind him, these two don't really need to take any risks here. Just get to the checkered flag, they'll get them the points that they need, but they're reckless, they'll go for it.
Out, Owen.
Yeah, here comes Casper, doesn't go right outside, and look at Deck up the inside of 2 cars at once! My goodness, he is here to go for it, and he has done. And he's got 2 cars in one go. That's a Jackocar move if I've ever seen one. Casper's ahead of Risky, he's into the grass. Be careful not to lose it on the exit. There's all sorts. He's off. He's out. And that's going to be him out of the championship. And here comes Arnold, but that'll definitely be a safety car. And he went through the grass there and hit the wall. We've got a 4-car pile-up now. And if red flags are if red flags are still in it, we'd have one, but we don't. And as you say, Ben Harrett is, well, he's out if Bazza finishes, essentially.
Oh, yep. Oh, hang on.
I think you can stop the Mavs now. Has made this equation very easy indeed. He just has to score, what, 3 points? That's all we need to worry about here, right?
It is now 3 points, yes.
Right, happy days. So we can stop doing some Mavs. Where's that? Where does he need to finish then?
So 6, 5, 4, 3, be 14th place.
Okay, so
risky blaming Casper, by the way. I didn't see it.
Well, the thing is, I ended up, I forget who, I went to an on-board view looking back. I think he went across the grass because Casper was overtaking him. Then Risky went onto the grass, came back on. Where there was contact when he came back on or not, I don't know. But oh, hello. Look at that for a bouncing car as Baz's front left decides whether it does or doesn't want to explode. But anyway, he's made it to the pits. Jesus. I thought that was a bit odd. He's not changed the front wing, but he had a front left puncture. As did half the field, apparently. I mean, loads of them involved in that accident. But yeah, it was through the grass at turn 4, and then I think all hell broke loose when he came back on. I'm wondering if he's just washed into the side of whoever it was, Johannes, I think. I'm sure we'll have an onboard view of him at some point. And look at all these drivers going onto the soft compound tyres. This is possibly because, can they get away with a lap 17 pit stop, do you think, because they're halfway I don't think it matters because we're going to get some rain anyway, aren't we? So actually maybe this will be soft to get to the rain.
I guess so. I'm sure somebody in the stewards will keep note. It won't be me. It should be me. It won't be.
Well, I'm going to look back at the stream, see if I can work it out, what happened. Because I was that on board. How the other cars got involved, presumably as they all just sort of ran into each other when they see a car across the road. I don't know. Looking at it on the stream, Risky was on the outside all the way through to that chicane, pushed his luck, and then lost it by himself when he came back off the grass. So I'm sorry, Sully, but it looks to me like you've only got yourself to blame with that one. As he rage quits the lobby upon hearing that.
It's all your fault.
I know, well, that's his fault.
I'm just going to have a watch back of the stream. You say you didn't catch it.
You can make... I saw him rejoining the track, and then I don't see the moment he loses it, but you can see the start of it. He's not going to hit another car from where he last saw him to when he ends up in the wall, essentially, if that makes sense.
I see it.
He can't have hit someone.
Judge it based off of that.
He couldn't have hit someone, though, from there. And if he did, it would be his fault. Because I went on board with Johannes, and we didn't see a contact on board Johannes, and Johannes was the car next to him when he came back on track. So that's why I went on board with him, assuming that he would stay up beside him, but then he crashed. I must be what I was doing that for. So it does feel to me like, yeah, he's tried to go on the outside of, or Casper's gone up the inside of him, giving him no space, because why would you need to? As it does start raining, so these guys, I mean, do you pit on this lap? That's too early for it, isn't it? But all these guys in the sauce are going to have to make a lot of moves before this becomes intermediate conditions. But anyway, the other 2 cars then, yeah, presumably they all piled in afterwards, and we just got a big pile up of cars as a result of Risky's incident. I do end up being wrong quite a lot of the time, though, when I try and judge these things. As well, I'm not a steward, so I don't know. Ignore what I said if you want to, but I mean, you can watch the stream by yourself.
Well, I did, and there's not a lot to see. I'm sure we'll see some onboard footage at some point.
Arnold's either... Oh, he is. He's going for intermediates.
Wow.
I mean, he's here for the fun of it, isn't he, I suppose? Gareth as well. Well, he could have. If he goes retired from the race and then everyone else somehow outscores him, then he'd look a bit stupid, but...
Do you remember when, was it Casper won here in the rain? On that day where we thought Jamie Wright was going to get it?
No idea, to be honest. I don't actually know.
Somebody, I'm sure it was Jamie Wright, stayed out for glory on the dries, and it would look like the right decision. And then 1 lap later, it just turned from like rain to torrential.
Yeah, it was, because I think he came down to turn 1, we were on board, and everything looked okay. And then suddenly it just tipped it down. It was like, oh, okay, well, that's him in trouble.
Yep.
So maybe the same thing will happen here. That's why these 4 have pitted: Arnold, Leroy, Gareth and Corey. I mean, it is definitely raining plenty, isn't it? I mean, the safety car's going to be in this lap, though, isn't it? So the question that we should answer now: does a lap 17 pit stop count as halfway? Is that good enough? Because if one of these 4 that pitted ends up winning because of this pit stop, someone's going to ask the question. So should we confirm this now? And because I'm not the boss, I'll need you to confirm it.
Confirm it on stream.
A lap 17 stop, is that okay?
Well, half of 34 is 17.
17 and a half, you know. You can't pit halfway into a lap, so can we say 17 or 18 is good enough?
I think we would accept 17. In fact, let's accept 17.
Yes, okay.
My name's above the door. Restart.
Right, good. For 2 more weeks only, so he doesn't get the opportunity to make these calls very often. So we've got a wet restart on dry tyres for most of this lot. I've got to say, this looks too wet. Because it is. This is too wet. So good luck, as half the field sort of struggle to hit the brakes into turn 1. A few of them go wide. And we've now got Ben Shaw. He's gone to the intermediates, even though it's on the safety car restart. He just doesn't fancy doing this, and yeah, just no pace anywhere really through here. So let's see Arnaud really. I think he's the best viewpoint here with this, and well, he's already got past Baza, and presumably he's just gonna breeze past these guys as Tony struggles and loses 2nd place to Casper. And oh, look at the drift there from Casper, and it continues on the exit of the 8-9 chicane. He's still off. He's on the grass now. That's impossible to drive with, and we're going to see a lot of pit stops on this lap. So this is going to get quite messy as Arnaud sort of caught in the middle here of a lot of cars. Got to be careful not to end up in an accident. And if I'm you, Arnaud, stay to the inside all the way down here, because if people are going to try and pit, they'll be on the left. So yeah, if I'm you, I'd be just moving to the right and staying there. But don't get in the way of Deck, who's going to be straight lining this. And yes, he's away and he's into the leads, but the rest of them are into the pits. And well, it's an inspired call to go for the intermediates when he did. Very much the same as the race that Jimmy Wright stayed out a lap too long. These lot stayed out a lap too long. And Arnaud will lead this race from Leroy and Corey. Sadly, Gareth has come back into the pit, so he's had problems. But Leroy, out of the championship, just here for fun. He was here literally the last minute. He's about to be overtaken for 2nd place, more than likely. But what does it matter? He's in a podium position at the moment, as Corey Dalton moves up to 2nd place. Slightly,
at the moment,
sort of kills the race out a little bit, I have to be honest. Unless these tires fall off and they have to make another pit stop. We've got one more safety car slot, but at the minute, Arnaud essentially has this one.
Yeah, only a little bit. Yellow flags. It is for Ways. Baza eliminated as it stands.
Oh dear. Right, well, someone's going to have to tell him that, because it'll be really awkward if he ends up 15th in the end of this. In a 16 car race as well. He's not slow enough to end up there. Surely, he says.
And And also, if Chris Waits finishes there, which he likely will, he needs to win next week. Otherwise, the top 4 in the championship are the ones that will go to Mexico to fight for it. Oh, I'm just watching Leroy all over the place in that chicane. Gets through it.
Yeah, the track still looks very difficult as Tony's back into the pits. I'm wondering if he's lost his front wing on the right hand side. And so we are having this bad day for one of the championship contenders. The rest of them are in decent positions, but Tony's the one having a bad day, and that's where Waitsy needs to be up at the front, but sadly he's in 12th place. I just wonder at the rate that this rain's coming down, will it end up at full wets at any point? I mean, obviously it takes a lot to want to be on the full wets on this game. But we have seen it. The last time we saw a proper deluge in Jackocar was here in season 10, when we just had, it was biblical conditions. So we know this track can do it. It's similar to Singapore, really, when it comes to how heavily the rain can come down. It just, happens on a track by track basis, and Cody's like these two tracks for rain the most. As Robin, doesn't really matter that he's left the session, because I'm sure he'll probably come back at some point, but nothing could get him eliminated here, can it?
No, Bazza P14 as it stands, but if you go on board with him, he is really struggling in his 800th race here in the rain in Montreal. But surely the esports gods have a plan for the Welshman. You'd like to think, wouldn't you?
Oh, that's a big move from Chris Waits, and he's got through on Robin's sort of dying car, has to be said, but he's not to know that. And he made a big move, and Deck tried to follow him through, but lost half his front wing. So yeah, Chris, he's given it some effort. It's just hard to know what he can do, really. As into the wall goes Leroy, or was he just out of the way? He was very much sideways as he got overtaken there by the duo of Jake and Casper, who are very much following each other around at the moment. Arnoud's lead is nearly 10 seconds, so he looks very comfortable out there, it has to be said. I wonder if he has a wet setup on. I wonder if anyone had any wet setups to put on at qualifying, as Bazza loses that P14. He really needs to keep that. And I tell you what, Tony will probably be faster than him as well, by some way.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, Jackie, you're right. This could be really bad.
Sure could. It's not how Bazza planned it going, especially with Ben Harrett going out. It opens the door, and of course Mike not being here, it made life near enough easy for Bazza. But of course this rain has really hampered proceedings. Bazza never been the most comfortable in the rain, particularly on these later games as well, where it's been a lot harder to drive. Yori makes a move on his brother. Not said that for a while.
He's put a new front wing on, so maybe he did end up in the wall when Jake and Casper came in. That's good news for Bazza. That's very good news for Bazza. Although he's running around with the front wing damage himself, isn't he? So that's not going to help him. Clearly isn't helping him.
He would love two people to collide. That's what he wants. Deck and Pete is a high chance. Johannes and Ben Shaw is even higher at the minute as they battle for P5. Here goes Johannes to the inside, but it looks to be a clean move, which Bazza did not want, but through goes the German.
We've still got 12 laps to go in this race, Jacko. This rain looks like it's only going to be getting heavier. I really do wonder if these tyres will get all the way to the end. Can you do half the race on a set of intermediate tyres? I mean, I highly doubt it. I don't know. Well, we'll find out, but with the amount of wheel spin these guys will be having out there, that'll be doing those rear tyres an absolute world of damage. And it'll obviously get worse and worse as the rain gets heavier. So, yeah, I wonder. I do wonder how this could end up turning out. As wait, see, another move. He's up to P8 now.
Oh, Gareth.
Going over the curbs there. Didn't enjoy that move very much. He should be able to keep Deck behind him because Deck's got just enormous front wing damage. If Deck has any issues here, this could actually be what helps Bazza out. Because if in theory Deck should be even slower than him, And also Gareth has enormous damage himself.
Oh, Deck!
That will not help. That will not help at all.
Well, that helps nobody.
Well held, though. I've got to say, well held.
It looked good.
Yeah, rode on board for us. Very pleased. Baz has got Tony up his inside, and he's back in the danger zone. So he needs Deck to have a few more of those moments. He hasn't got any penalties, by the way, has Baz. That could also be very helpful for him in this race, because it means he may not have to actually overtake anybody. Sadly, Deck isn't one of the drivers with penalties, though.
Yeah, Waves and Robin both on free, so it's not quite enough for Bazza yet.
Where else is the action? I want to just see if Deck's thinking of a pit stop. As that's Leroy, isn't it? Leroy's. Again, I don't think he's actually had an incident. I think he's been teleporting. Either that or he just keeps resetting the track when we're not looking, but he's got no damage. At the hairpin, what could possibly go wrong at the hairpin on your own? I don't know. I feel like he's got some issues that is affecting his race at the moment. Or did he break his front wing? He is into the pits.
It's a nice buffer for Bazza at least. So he just needs one position.
Is he going to stick? Yeah, he's going to retire. So I think he is having connection issues. And he's ended his race before the game ends it for him, by the looks of it. as Wace gets through on the inside of Robin. That means Bazza, the equation's simple now. Don't finish last. It's as simple as that. Don't finish last. Sadly, he's last.
Where can you see a break for Bazza in all of this?
I think heavier rain is going to be the break for Bazza. I think get everyone else in for another cycle of pit stops. And then see what he can do from there. Maybe someone will drop it as the rain gets heavier. But that could so easily just be him. I think we've got one more safety car slot. So let's see. We've got 10 laps to go. Anything can happen. Wait till he gets a penalty. A lot of penalties out there. And Dex, even more. The front wing's gone now. And that's not sustainable. That is not sustainable. He's lost the entire right-hand side and half the left-hand side. That car is going to have about as much front-end grip as a Formula 2 car at this point. And surely Baz will be able to catch these lot. I mean, Gareth's damage as well is enormous. These two are heavily crippled racing cars.
At the minute, Ben Howard is rubbing his hands together. He still has a chance of going to the Championship 5 despite being a DSQ last week and a DNF this week. Miserable form all season. Of course, he did have a P4 in China. But somehow still in contention if Bazza cannot promote himself one position. How many times in Jackocar have we seen playoffs and chase and regular seasons been decided by a single point? We're in the same boat once again. Boat very apt for the moment with this weather. It's getting worse.
It's not even the first time this has happened to Bazza either.
No, Austria rings a bell, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All those years ago.
I think he lost it by one place that day as well. Season 3 or 4 or whenever it was. He missed out on the player. Was it 2? Was that
the
when
race that Risky won?
I don't know if they were different races or not, to be honest with you. It was in the early days for sure.
It was Austria. 100%.
It was definitely, well, yeah. They tend to be when you decide who's in the playoffs, but yeah, he lost out on a playoff spot by, we think, literally a point or two. So could it happen again? Oh, Bazza, don't let this happen again. Not on your 800th race. This is not the way to celebrate it. This midfield battle, by the way, is fascinating because Gareth is he's holding his best mate up, and Tony he's caught up to them. I mean,
fireworks.
What could possibly go wrong here? You know?
Oh, nothing. Just sit and watch.
Look at the drifting there. We've got some wheel to wheel, and Gareth shows Wace the grass, and they lock wheels on the exit. And Tony, if I'm you, I don't make this 3 wide. You don't want to do that to yourself. And Gareth slows it down. What are you doing? You can't let Wace do you like that. That's not the Gareth we know. He's thinking championship, isn't he? He's thinking championship. What a boring man. He's thinking championship. Oh, dear.
How's Deck still running, by the way, with no front wing?
I don't know how he's managing this.
Look at him squirming down the back straight.
You see, that'll be red damage on one side and probably orange damage on the other. So I don't know, maybe it balances itself out. I don't know, maybe you've got so little front end grip that maybe it doesn't really matter anymore. I don't know. I could be making everything up. Because Tony's obviously got way more grip naturally. He'll dispatch him and then... or will he? Oh, well, he's defending.
No, Deck is defending.
He's defending this. And he's not defending it very well because Tony's Godman is outside. Gives him a little love tap. Gives him a couple of love taps. Waste might get involved here. He'll surely defend against Waste. That's more realistic competition, I would have thought. As Waste just pushes him round, and Gareth will be watching this with great interest. Sadly, it has to be said, with all this going on, Baza... Gareth! Sadly, with all this, Baza is still losing time to them.
He is.
Is Robin here, by the way? Has he come back? Because if he hasn't, that could be a lifeline. But with the way these guys are battling, they're going to lose more time, surely. This battle for P11 on the track, and you got Waste and you've got Deck fighting like it's a championship race, and a big nerf into the side pod there from Waste into the side of Deck.
Pits.
Is that an indication that the tires won't last the distance? Here comes Waste again, a bit of weaving. Oh, look at this. This is so tight into the final chicane. And I'm on board with Gareth. He's waiting to pounce on this. Waste has got through. Big move for him, because I think if he didn't get that done, there'd be an airplane crash. Oh, he's letting it back through. What's he doing? He's slowed way down into turn one, and they're going to keep banging wheels. And oh no, Deck, don't do it. He has done it. Oh, Deck. A deliberate accident, and he's now slowed right down. He's hit him again, and Baz back into the championship, and we got another safety car. Oh, thank you, Deck. That was fantastic entertainment.
Right, now the maths becomes even more simple for Baza. He just has to finish. It doesn't matter how slow he is. He could drive around with punches and penalties. He just has to finish. That puts him into next week. Oh my god, Jackocar at its best.
The whole field should pit really. I don't know why some aren't. Arnold had built nearly a 20-second gap just by himself, so he looks pretty good to win the race. He'll have some fresh tires to get to the end, but it'll be Jake and Casper behind him. Corey, he's going to hedge his bets on a new set of tires. I think that's the right thing to do. Take a new set of tires. Don't risk this on the restart. There'll only be a few laps left, I suppose, but I think you'd rather do the last sort of 4 or 5 laps on good tires as Pete Speeds? He's in the pits. How has he done that? Anyway, doesn't really matter. He's into the championship for next week. Essentially, this whole race has now become a bit of a throwaway, so I'd like to see more of the drama that Deck just did there. Deck turned it into a throwaway. There was stakes before that happened. Now, on this restart, I'm expecting big things here. I need to see some heads being lost.
Oh dear. And that, sometimes I get questioned why I have certain people in the league, but that is why. Because of the entertainment value that they provide.
Is that
it's always Canada?
Is that another advert for having Deck here as a full-timer again? I don't think you could ask for a better advert than that, really, could you?
And for keeping ways.
Oh, absolutely. Oddly enough, Gareth thought that tree looked like the sensible one. I can't believe it. Having a child, it must have changes people, clearly.
Oh dear. So, rundown then. It's fairly typical at the top. Are now Jake, Casper, Corey, Johannes, Ben Shaw, Tony, you know, that's predictable. And then you got Chris Waits, Yuri back in the top 10, Robin on his way to Championship 4, and then Pete, Gareth, they're also going to be there. Ways eliminated in week 1. And of course Baza will be joining them, providing he finishes the race. If not, it's Ben Harrott.
That's a good point, actually, isn't it? Baza can still retire. I sort of forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really good point, because yeah. Saying that, will he get a chance to catch the pack? I don't know how long the safety car is going to be out for, but he's still more than half a lap away.
I don't think he cares. This is just one of those, just get yourself in, give yourself the shot next week.
By the way, he's pitted and not changed the front wing still.
Again, doesn't matter. Just get to the end.
So yeah, actually, that's a good. Right, so I hadn't actually considered the fact that Baza could still crash out of this race. So yeah, sorry, there is actually still stakes to this. Because there's no 90% rule here, is there? And if there was, there's not anymore. Because yeah, you got to get to the checker flag to get some points.
Yeah. So all 14th place does for him is puts him +1 on Harrop. But of course, to claim those points, you've got to finish the race. If not, he loses the free and Ben Harrop goes through. So that it is simple maths, but of course it's not done yet. 4 laps to go, and stranger things have happened.
You know, I've just got to point out on the safety cars, by the way, because I sometimes forget last season just how few we had. I mean, I swear we had a streak of 3 or 4 races where we didn't see the safety car come out once on F1 2020. This is like the 3rd or 4th week in a row now where we've blown through the entire allocation of safety cars. It's
good to be back.
That's what a great game. Thank you, Codemaster. This is, if you've done one thing right, it's this. just giving us endless safety cars, because this is going to leave us with a 3-lap shootout for the victory. It's going to leave us with potential drama for Baza at the end, and yeah, really anything can happen here. I mean, Casper, it's a shame he's got the penalty, really, because if he could have attacked and finished first on the road, he could be the first back-to-back winner this season. See, for the Championship 5, I haven't actually had a chance to ask this. Presumably, if the winner of round 16 is in the Championship 5, they're not going to have that qualifying ban, are they?
No.
Yeah.
That is the only exception to that rule.
So that might be where we get the back-to-back then.
Yeah, it won't really count then, will it?
Wow.
But, yeah. It will be, by the way, the first season where we've not had a back-to-back winner. Do I need to fact check that? I think I need to fact check that.
I'm sure it's probably true. Saying that, I don't know actually. We've had a lot of seasons where we had so many different winners. You might have a... Well, Jacko finds that out, which probably won't take that long actually. You've got the whole back straight to figure this out, Jacko.
I'll tell you what. I think I might have found one. Yeah, season 6, we never had a back-to-back winner.
Well, there you go. Turns out we never had to change the rules. Oh well, it happens.
And it gets better, because season 8, we never had a back-to-back winner. Yeah, so there you go. 6 and 8. Is that what I said?
Yes. We've got a restart, and
Green flag!
And Arnold's just sort of left Jake miles behind. He's not even bothered. Here comes Wes on his mate, and he's crashed into the back of the wrong car. You've hit... oh, they're all crashing, actually. Front wings everywhere at the moment. So Baza was into the back of Pete. He was then into the back of Robin, I want to say that was. And, yeah, basically, they're fighting again at the back. It's all very dangerous territory if your name is Baza. He just needs to stay away from this. And
I don't know why he's following so closely. I would not be a part of that.
I do wonder if Pete's had his diffuser or his rear wing done in here, because he did get hit quite hard into turn 1. Here comes Casper. Was he looking at a move there on Jake O'Sullivan? Tony gets a penalty. I mean, everyone has penalties. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. Casper, yeah, I thought he might fancy the move there on Jake. He may have a look on the exit, but I mean, it's all sort of meaningless for him when he's got the penalty. And yeah, still watching Baza. Still, he's behaving. Still, Casper's looking at Jake, but no move happening. And Arnold, he must have a wet setup on. I mean, not that I'm not giving him credit, because this is just ridiculous pace. He built up 20 seconds effectively by himself before that last safety car. He's already got 1.5 seconds, and he's yeah, Look at him drifting round. He's enjoying himself out there.
Yeah, they would have liked that, wouldn't they? 2 laps to go in Canada. Eyeing up race win number 22. Puts him within 3 of the record.
Baza, I think he has now got the hint. He's sitting 2 seconds back from Gareth Hall. So if anything goes off ahead of him, he's got plenty of time to see it coming. And with 2 laps to go, I mean, if anyone wants to go for any crazy moves, now is the time to do it. I don't think there's anyone really in range for an overtake, it has to be said out there. So I think we're going to get a pretty chilled out end to this race, which is exactly what Baza wanted. Casper, yeah. I keep hoping he'll go for the move, but I just don't think he's quite close enough, to be honest with you. He's given it a try, but yeah, I think Jake's got him covered. And on the penalties, we might see a lot of positions change actually on the penalties. Might be worth seeing where Waitsy, they're all 3-second penalties, the lot of them. So actually, it's going to change nothing. Apart from West, he'll fall down a bit, Jacko.
Here we go then. He's already celebrated. There's still a lap to go. What has Arnold done?
Why has he done that?
It's 1 lap to go, not sponsored by Credit One Bank. And Arnold's just given the race win away. I have never seen anything like it. Arnold! What's he done?
I don't.
Oh no!
Oh, it's the second week in a row where I'm sat in the commentary box laughing at Arnold. What was I saying? What have I been saying all day about his funny accidents and all the weird stuff he does? That tops the list. Jake O'Sullivan. I'd leave as well, mate. Arnold can't believe what he's just seen. Casper, if I'm you, throw this up the inside and just nick the back-to-back win. Take your man out. We won't see it happening. This is the closest we've been to a back-to-back winner this season, but there's no way through.
So I was saying it would put him within 3 of the record, but Jake is going to make that much more difficult now because he's going to make the gap 5 if Arnold wants to be the race wins all-time leader. But it's not going to be Arnold's day because of that amazing bit of driving. Jake O'Sullivan, race win number 26, and drives his way into the championship 5. Job done.
I don't really have any words to explain why.
Never seen.
I don't know why he's done that. I don't know if he's trying. Because
I think he thought it was the final lap.
But how is that possible? Surely it would say on his screen lap 34. Unless his game has said lap 35 out of 35. And it just clearly wasn't.
I don't know.
I've got to blame that on the game for now. I don't think he would make that mistake. But he just has. So I don't know. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? But I don't know. I'm
finding it hard to give the same thing.
It's just not the same. How long has he been racing here? Do you know what I mean? Like, when's anyone ever done that? And that could have taken out the whole lot, you know. He's lucky he crashed on the left-hand side, not on the right-hand side where everyone else was. That could have been a plane crash.
I think it might be worth you clipping that one, as you do, and we'll get that one uploaded.
That's a good point. Let's do that. Yeah. Last week was easy to explain because that was just him misjudging the fact that when the rear wind's open you've got no rear downforce. It's a bit odd to not know that happens. How do you... This week, I don't have a reasonable explanation for why Arnold has just... I don't have a reasonable explanation for why he's just done that. You see, if Jake had just got himself out of the way, we would have had a podium of drivers from 19th, 18th and 16th, and that probably would have been the highest combined starting grid position, you know, add them all together, we would have had on a podium. But no, you've had to go and ruin that, haven't you, Jake? Casper Johannes complete the podium. Ben Shaw is 4th. Who cares? The story's Arnold. What on earth was that? Baza ended up 11th in the end, so he had more than enough points.
That was quite incredible.
Yeah, Right, so Robin's asking who the chase leader is. Obviously, that's irrelevant now, isn't it? So all he needs to know is that it's all equal going into next week, and the chase four are going to be Robin, Pete, Gareth, and Bazza. And we know that Sullivan Lewis is out of the playoffs, so wait to see. Needs a miracle. He needs Arnaud style incident to happen to someone else, and for him to win the race as a result. He needs a massive miracle, actually, but I think we do that anyway.
Do you remember that race where I think it was a TGP race or something like that? Khalifa crashed on the line.
Was that him?
That was Khalifa, yeah. But I think
maybe
this
has
is
happened.
more
This might have happened a
embarrassing.
few times. There was it him? Are you sure it was him? I've been laughing. I can't have been him. Is this the one in Australia
all
where
those
he's
years-
weaving out of the final corner celebrating?
No, it was Spa.
Oh right, I am thinking of it. There was an even more funny one, not involving one of our drivers, I don't think, where it was an Australia race and it was live on stream. And I remember this is on F1 2017, like. And the guy came out the final corner and was weaving all the way down the straight and crashed. That's the one I was thinking of. But what was the Khalifa one?
I've only ever seen the screenshot of it. I'm sure it was TGP. He was celebrating, spun, crashed, hit the wall, and he finished a foot away from the start finish line. You know where it is at Spa, and lost the race. DNF'd after dominating it.
Happened by accident, I think. In LR1 at one point in Singapore as well, where someone came out of the final corner and they crashed across the line, but they DNF'd before they crossed the line. They got the win back because they had crossed the line, but yeah. I suppose these things have happened before, but not like that. I've never seen one like that before. You'd have to go a long way into the league racing archives. That will probably be the first time in 800 races that Baz has seen that happen. So,
yes.
I'll put that into context. Now, we have been doing this calendar randomly this season, right? Jack has pinned it onto ChatGPT. It's been spitting out races. We will be in Monza next week, though, won't we? We can't pass that chance up.
You know what? I want it to be in Monza.
So it'll be in Monza. Because realistically, who cares? We want Monza. We don't want Saudi. We don't want bloody Qatar. We want Monza.
And Owen, my name's above the door.
Exactly, yeah.
So, we'll be in Monza.
And, we will see you for that. And then obviously Mexico the week afterwards to crown a champion. We're going to end this now because I'm a bit lost for words, really, and I do want to see what Arno's not said anything to us yet, so we don't
I wonder
really...
why. That tells me he's done that by himself.
That tells me. I mean, he was drifting around at the start of the lap as well. Remember, we were watching him.
Oh.
Well, we'll have his excuse ready for you next week. How about that? So we will see you for Monza next week. Cheers for watching. Safe travels, and